and welcome to the monthly neighborhood board. I'm Christian DeCavedo, your chair. It is a pleasure to have each and every single one of you here this evening. It appears as though we are being hunted and they're taking us out one by one. I love it. Thank you kindly. Let's see. Up first, the Honolulu Fire Department. Do we have any representatives from the Honolulu Fire Department with us this evening? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Up next, do we have a representative from the Honolulu Police Department?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Lieutenant Mira from the Honolulu Police Department. Bringing you
Good evening, Lieutenant. How are you this evening?
Good, sir. How are you?
Most excellent. Please catch us up with what's been going on in the neighborhood.
Okay, so statistics we have for last month: motor vehicle thefts at 6, burglaries at 4, thefts were at 10, and unauthorized entry to motor vehicles were at 6. Total calls for service 5,804. Going into our monthly tips. And we've had some inclement weather. Recently, so. And again, it's just reminders for like things like flash flood preparedness. Do not allow children to play near streams or damage or drainage ditches. These areas can quickly become deadly. Do not attempt to drive or move your vehicle through flooded areas because parts of the road may already be washed out. The water might be a lot deeper than it appears. And just again, things for just disasters in general. Water for your 14-day disaster kit, 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and sanitation. Medication, of course, is always important. Prescription medications, glasses, contact lenses, medical devices, and a first aid kit. Also generators for anybody who would need electricity for certain devices. And of course, we have the HNL info. Use HNL info to stay informed about emergencies, weather advisories, traffic bulletins, and much more. And that's all I have.
Marvelous. Thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Lieutenant Miura from the Honolulu Police Department?
Yes, this is Lee Castinger. Last week, I asked about if gun-related incidents increased with the opening up of gun laws, and you said you're going to see if you can check into that. Have you had any success in that yet?
Who did you make that inquiry with?
Oh, that was Lieutenant Nakamura.
Oh, last month?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Nothing was passed down to me for any statistics, but I can try and follow up with that. You're asking for if there's any gun increase. Sorry, what was
Yeah,
the
the number of gun-related incidents, have they increased since the opening up of the gun laws?
you talking about the concealed carry?
Yes.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I want to say no.
No.
But as far as you need hard statistic, I mean, I personally haven't seen anything, any type of rise in gun related crimes, out of the ordinary, out of the norm. But I don't have any hard statistics, so we can try to follow up with that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, just one other simple question. You know,
Sure.
you have a lot of calls. I think you said something around 5,000 calls in a month, and very few of them are related to, motor vehicle thefts or any emergencies. So I'm wondering how the other calls are handled. Is there any AI being used, or do you have staff just really busy taking all these calls in?
Good question. So we haven't implemented AI yet. So the calls could be, we have a alternative call service. So sometimes there's an option for certain types of calls that can go to like I guess kind of like a call center almost, where they can handle the calls over the phone if it's simple type of cases where people can just report over the phone, that kind of stuff. So that is an option, but I mean, it's just a combination of different things. But yeah, most of the officers can go to the calls and handle accordingly.
It seems like a lot of calls you're handling. Very good. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Does anybody in the community have any questions for Lieutenant Miura from the Honolulu Police Department? Lieutenant Miura, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Mahalo.
You as well. Up next, Miss Lorna, Board of Water Supply. Are you here this evening?
Hi, good evening. Can you folks hear me okay?
We can indeed.
Okay,
How are you?
sorry.
this
I'm
evening?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I don't have my headphones on, so it should be quiet while I'm here. I just have a quick announcement as usual. No main breaks to report for last month. The announcement for this month is about our 2026 poster and poetry contest. So the Board of Water Supply has launched its 2026 contest. A poster contest is open to grades kindergarten to sixth graders, and the poetry contest is open for grades 7th grade to 12th grade. This year, the theme is everyday conservation, and the deadline is coming up on February 27th. So encourage anybody that you know to enter any of these contests. If you want more information, please go to our website at www.boardofwatersupply.com/WCW contest. That is the announcement I have this month. Does anybody have any questions?
Does anybody on the board have any questions for Lorna from the Board of Water Supply? Does anybody in the community have any questions for Lorna from the Board of Water Supply? Miss Lorna, I did have to deal with the Board of Water Supply the other day for a client of mine out in not Waiʻalae, one of the shopping centers over there. But dealt with one of your personnel over the phone for about 30 minutes. Very helpful, very educated, very responsive. So you guys are doing a great job over there. Really appreciate everything y'all doing.
Very good. I'm glad. I hope it wasn't too much of a problem you had, but I'm glad
Oh,
to hear.
no, it was getting some old water lines back on and running, but you guys have an incredible trove of information over there. So
Right.
it's amazing dealing with
Pass
y'all.
that
I appreciate
information
it.
on. Thank you.
Please, thank you. All right. We've got Colin, we've got me, we've got Brian. Okay, but I also have here a letter from Aloha McGuffey granting proxy. It should hold. I think it should hold. Should be good. Please hold for bureaucracy real quick. Sorry. Then move on to the next. That's perfect. Sorry, we're going to be skipping around the schedule real quick just to make sure that I'm not violating the law in any ways right now. Let's see. Casey Abe from the Department of Transportation. Are you here this evening?
I'm here.
Yes, you are.
Share my screen here with you.
Good evening, Casey. How are we doing?
Oh, fine. Hey, can you see my screen? Good evening, Chair Christian and members of the Waiʻalae Kāhala Neighborhood Board. Casey Abe from the State Duty Highways. In last month's meeting, I mentioned about the potholes created by the heavy rain, but I'm happy to report that our maintenance crew managed to patch the potholes during my field inspection this past Tuesday. But I did notice the homeless are still out there leaving their trash within our state highways right away. Graffiti artists are still busy showcasing their artwork, and the recent wet weather has created new potholes, so I'm working with our maintenance crew on addressing these concerns. And finally, our Waiʻalae Viaduct seismic retrofit project is ahead of schedule, with most of the work completed and all the steel plates has been removed on Waiʻalae Avenue. For our project engineer, the contractor is doing some restoration work, so the project should be completed by July. As for the planter boxes on the viaduct, we could not secure the additional funds to cap the planter box with concrete, but we are able to prep the planter box, so when we do receive the fundings in July of this year, we will complete the capping of the planter box. But we did install weed barriers to minimize the vegetation overgrowth, and we will cut back the overgrowth when it becomes an eyesore for the traveling public. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Casey, as always, you are just an absolute pleasure to have here every evening, and we adore you so much for the work that you do. Let's see. So the project is ahead of schedule. How
Yes.
is the budget? Under budget, at budget, above budget?
Oh, right now it's within the budget so far.
It's within the budget.
Yeah.
It's a government project that is ahead of time and within budget.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
We always
Casey,
have
as
contingency.
always,
We have this,
you-
we have
you leave me
contingency funds that
speechless.
is factored into the project. So we did use the contingency funds. If you want to add.
contingency for government is normally 15%,
About 10%.
10%. Oh, that's okay. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that you have that information right off the top of your head. Thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Casey Abe? Any of the board online? Does anybody in the public have any questions for Casey Abe? You, sir, in the blue.
Hey, Casey, Paul Hogan from Kāhala Towers. So, regarding the viaduct there, so you're gonna cap all the vegetation area on the viaduct, yeah, the H1 viaduct.
Yes.
Okay, and what about on the surrounding area? I know the guys are digging down and put heavy duty concrete on that holds up the viaduct. So that's just gonna stay like that.
They're doing some restoration work. I shall double check with our project manager if they completed the restoration work or they still have some work to do. I can double check on that.
Oh, no, it's going good. So the concrete looks very, very strong. I was just wondering, under the viaduct, there's planters on the Mauka side of the viaduct. I'm just wondering the irrigation system there doesn't seem to be working in front of our area there. I was wondering if you could, is that part of your jurisdiction there?
Yes, everything under the viaduct belongs to the state DOT.
Okay. Can you have someone take a look? Because I see the sprinkler heads, but down by the 4300 Waiʻalae Kāhala Towers, it's like nothing going on there. I haven't seen any water come out.
Okay, we'll check on that.
Thank you very much.
Brian, I see that you've got your hand raised.
Hey, thanks, Chair. Hey, Casey, just real quick, Brian Wong, Vice Chair. The intersection in particular, what is that, Kilauea and Waiʻalae on the Asagio corner in particular, the ADA warning pad is in disrepair. In fact, it's gone. I think somebody set fire to it some time ago, and it's no longer there. So just bringing it up for attention. If somebody can take a look at that.
Sure. Okay, I'll check on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Does anybody else in the public have any questions for Mr. Casey Abe from the Department of Transportation? Casey, I interacted a couple of times with the contractors that you guys have over there performing the work. They're all super nice gentlemen and have been doing a fantastic job cleaning up and making sure that they keep the bus areas nice and clear for all the transportation riders over there. So please pass along our words of thanks to them and the work that they're doing over there.
Okay, sure thing. Thank you.
Perfect. Oh, beautiful. All right, up next, it is a moment I have been long awaiting for, but filling of the vacancies. We have amongst us one chosen man who wishes to become a civil leader, a testament, a standout, a pillar of the community. We currently have one vacancy for Subdistrict 1 and one vacancy for Subdistrict 4. Do we have anybody here this evening who would like to put forth their candidacy for said position? Is there a man amongst us, perhaps? Number 4, and please state your name into the microphone so that all who are here may bear witness.
Aloha, I'm John White. I live in Subdistrict 4 with my wife Yoko. We purchased our home in 2006. I want to contribute to the board to help our community. In 2018, I served on a subcommittee with Brian Wong on aircraft noise for this board. Also, I organized the Kāhala Diamond Head Neighborhood Security Watch, which has 360 households, makes up subdistricts 3 and 4, with the goal to deter crime and improve safety. Through that role, I've learned to organize information, collaborate with Honolulu Police Department, and work closely with several residents. I currently work full-time for a company based in New York, so I start my workday at between 5 and 6 a.m. And prior to that, I worked 35 years for Chevron Oil Company, which is now Texaco here in Hawaii. And through those jobs, I learned that accountability, preparedness, and collaboration is very important. I do appreciate collaboration done politely and thoughtful problem solving. So I'd be happy to serve along the board with Peter for Subdistrict 4. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else here who is willing or wants to run for Subdistrict 4? Please raise your hand. Online? Beautiful. I call to a vote to bring John White in as a member of the neighborhood board under Subdistrict 4. As we do a roll call, please say the last name White if you are in favor. Oh, Peter?
White.
Brian?
White.
Colin?
White.
Lee? Rich? Christian? White? I also have a letter here from Aloha McGuffey, who states that if John White is still interested in District 4 seat, please convey my strong support should a vote be taken. I also take it as a positive vote in the aforementioned. So, all in favor, none opposed. John, thank you for your patience. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the neighborhood board.
Mahalo.
All right, excellent. Yep. Let's make it happen. Okay, cool. While this is occurring, is there anybody interested in running for Subdistrict 1? I've already pushed my luck with 1 today, but I'm going for 2. That's all right. Next time. While they are swearing in John, do we have any reports of members' attendance at other meetings? Colin and I shared a lovely evening together at Shangri-La, and we watched the sunset together. So that was a beautiful moment, but no board business was discussed. So on to the next. On to the next. Elected official reports. My personal favorite. Governor's representative, is Miss Patty Jetty here this evening?
Aloha, Chair. Can you hear me?
We can indeed. Miss Jetty, is it a trick of the light or did you dye your hair?
I dyed my hair. It is not special lighting. This is just how it is.
Fantastic. I love it.
Thank you
Please
very
go
much.
ahead and
Thank you.
give us your
It
report.
matches my beach on Bora Bora kind of look that I'm going for. Aloha mai kako. I'm here representing Governor Josh Green. I'm on location right now, not exactly in Bora Bora. So unfortunately, I cannot paste in the comments the governor's newsletter, and I apologize for that. But the announcement I wanted to make is the Department of Land and Natural Resources has a survey that they're soliciting responses for. You have 1 more week to fill out the survey, and the survey is about Red Hill. They are trying to evaluate awareness of the events surrounding the 2021 Red Hill fuel tank spill. So they're inviting all residents to fill this out, whether you were affected or not by the spill. And you can fill that survey out at redhillsurvey.com. They also mailed out to a random sampling mail surveys. So they're just asking that anyone who received a survey in the mail that they please fill that out. You can fill it out in the mail and send it back, or you can fill it out online with the code, I guess, that came with the mailer. And with that, I will take any questions that any of you may have.
On the topic of the Red Hill survey, what is the express purpose of the survey?
So right now it's information gathering to figure out what information people know out there about the spill, about the remediation, the current status, so that they're going to be better able to bring the events to people. There's a new group that was created last year by the legislature called Red Hill Vi, and that group is going to be liaising with scientists, city and county, a whole host of kind of partners to work on making sure information about Red Hill is made to the public. And so we're trying to get a baseline right now of what people know.
Interesting. Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Miss Patty Jetty?
Yes, is that the group that they just announced that, the Navy just announced they don't have to, share information with?
I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just in yesterday's paper, I believe. What
I would
they-
have to look at that, but I don't believe that that's the case. I do know this group is working with federal partners as well in the remediation process, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that the Navy was mentioning them specifically.
Yeah, it sounded like a different group, but I just want to be sure. Thank you.
Does anybody else on the board have any questions for Patty Jetty from the governor's office? Anybody in the public have any questions? All right, awesome. Patty, thank you so
And,
much for your time this evening.
Yeah, one last thing, Chair. So I did reach
Please.
out to the Department of Education and let them know your interest in helping out with landscaping and everything at that DOE property in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
Did anyone follow up on that with you, or is
Really,
that
no one
really
has
still
followed
waiting?
up with me. And, oh,
All right,
actually,
I just
we
wanted to
have
check on
two,
that. I will.
two interested partners right here real quick. Sullivans, if I could. or- Please hold for 1 second.
Thank you, Mr. President, and Ms. Jetty. I'm Barrett Francis, and I live adjacent to that property, one of the many neighbors who do. We've heard nothing, and it's a bit stymieing because this has been going on for a year and a half that we neighbors have been doing work on there, and I know they seem to get they got a contract to do a little bit of work, the DOE did back in December, where they finished removing some of the plant debris that had become plant debris because they weren't able to water it and care for it. So they were literally cleaning up mess that they had created. It's very frustrating to not be able to have any direct contact with them. We've also had our local House representative, Representative Grandinetti, has requested of them formally by a letter, a meeting on site, and also our neighborhood board president, among others, was willing to attend that meeting, and they haven't even responded to that letter. So we understand that the DOE has far more important things to do than attend to a 6.5 acre property like this that they really don't even utilize, and they're not going to utilize it. So it's frustrating to know where, in terms of talking about landscaping, we appreciate your efforts to get them to respond even to that, but I think this is just par for the course of a department that has a property that they're in no way, shape, or form set up or funded to care for. And this is, the lack of responsiveness is just, I think, further evidence of that. So I'm not sure where to go with this. I mean, you requested this and they haven't gotten back to any of us, and nor would we have expected them to, unfortunately, at this point. It's very hard. So I'm not sure where to go with this. We've even written to the governor's office directly, and I don't know if you ever saw that. That was back in end of November of last year, pointing out that this property is underutilized, which is well known, and underkept, which is well known. So we're very frustrated about knowing where to go, and we kind of feel like the DOE isn't even capable of giving an answer since they haven't even responded to your request. So I'll just open that to your response, but it's very frustrating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please go right ahead.
Hey, Patty, this is Randy Port. You've spoken before about that issue. And I'd like just to point out a couple of things. One is on the 10th of February, we sent a letter to DOE facilities asking them about what's the status of the remediation. We even made it as easy as possible. We said, no need for a formal reply, doesn't have to be detailed, but where are things at this point? Because you cleared the dead trees out there, but now it's raw dirt and weeds that's starting to grow and fill over. They need to do the phase 2, which is some sort of remediation there. Plant some grass, put some blockage up. We're not asking for golf cars. We're not asking for a rose garden. Just some basic plantings to control the areas of the sidewalk and stay clean. And we sent that to them on the 10th of February. We asked for a response. So far, we still have not received any reply. They're very well aware of what's going on. In that letter that we sent to them on the 10th of February, we also attached a PowerPoint slide. We've done a bunch of PowerPoint slides, and one of the PowerPoint slides was the last one we sent to them with that letter, was showing that volunteers on their own went with a weed whacker and cleared 108 feet of weeds that were on there in the worst part and the area that we have the most trash that builds up over there. And the neighborhood volunteers on their own weed whacked 108 feet on there because it's not being done and it creates an unsafe situation. But we also noted to them in that slide that we need them to do it with their gas-powered tools, because that battery-operated weed whacker, frankly, it was mine and it beat the heck out of the thing because it can't handle weeds like that. These are big, thick weeds. They've got gasoline-powered weed whackers there, and they're not using them enough there. And so there's a whole issue going on there with insufficient even temporary remediation. But again, we asked them to just give us an update, and we're still not getting a reply on that. So with that in mind, we have a request for you. And this is a bit unusual. And in all fairness to you, you might not want to give it an immediate answer, but here we go here. Look, once a month, the neighborhood board meetings create a 4-week time gap between issues that go on, and we keep bringing this issue up. You represent the governor, who has authority over his departments. And so our request is that, can we take this latest request on the 10th of February, can we send it to you and ask you to forward it through to them? We already sent it to them once. Can you please send it to them and have the reply go back to you, and then you get back to us? In other words, what we're really asking for is, can you be the go-between between us and the DOE? Because as Mr. Francis noted, we keep making requests over and over and over again to either have meetings about it or let us know the status, and we get zilch out from them. But perhaps if it was routed through you, they would be more prone to respond to the status request. So if it's okay with you, I would like to send you this latest letter we sent with them with the slide attachment and see if you could forward it through and get a response from them.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. I think that's a good idea. Let's give that a try and see where we can get with that.
Okay.
Do you guys have my email address, Christian?
I believe I have it. Give me 1 second. I should have it right here.
Ma'am, can you just give it to us right now? Is that
Yeah, I have it right here.
you have it? Okay.
Patricia.m.jetty with an E at the end at hawaii.gov.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay, we'll give that a go. And Patty, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Andy. Your slide presentation was really good last time. So yeah, I think, we'll see what we can do and move the needle on this.
Yeah, thank you much. Much appreciated. Okay, I'll get that sent out, if not tonight, tomorrow then. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Patty, one other suggestion. If it is true that DOE doesn't use and does not plan to use this land, maybe they should look at transferring it to another department that can use it or maintain it or do whatever they need to do with it.
Yeah.
I know of an up and coming landscaping company and construction business that would love to take over that piece of land, and they would do the landscaping too for free. No. Is there
Okay, thank you. I don't, yeah, I couldn't speak to that, but I will pass that along to the DOE as well.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. And Randy, that email should be in your inbox right now. So you should have that right away. And if you could share that with them as well, please, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Patty Jetty from the governor's office? Once, twice? As always, your time is appreciated. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I have to log off for a little bit, but I'll try to come back on so I can be here for the rest of the meeting.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Up next, John Nauchi. Are you here this evening?
Aloha, Chair. I am. Good evening, Chair and Neighborhood Board. I bring a couple of announcements from the mayor. This board, I know, has had a fairly good experience with the Honolulu 311 app. And the city has recently launched a new and improved version of that. Let's see. Residents can use that to report issues in their communities that need to be fixed or addressed by the city. And they can submit requests for service via the Honolulu 311 mobile app, which is available both on the Apple iOS or the Google Android operating systems, or they can visit the website at hnl311.com, and I'll throw that into the chat also as soon as I'm done. The new 311 system is more intuitive and easier to navigate, which means it has never been easier for residents to submit requests for service to the city. On the city's end, what it does is it makes it easier for our departments to track and respond to the issues that have been reported. Once an issue has been reported, it goes directly to the department that is responsible for that type of request. And if the users are registered for an account, so the registration is important, they will get notified whenever there is a status update to their request. So I know that we just talked about, the 4-week lag between meetings. So this is a more real-time notification and update to the issues that you can bring forth on the app or on the website. Now, the city can best fix issues and solve the problems when we know about them. So instead of taking a video of a broken sink and posting it to Instagram or other social media, snap those photos and let us know by submitting an HNL 311 request. We also feature highlights from the mayor's newsletter, which I will also drop a link to in the chat, featuring Kahuku District's park proposed renovations, including the work on swimming pool, celebrating Black History Month in Honolulu, and the Honolulu Fire Department celebrating 175 years of service. And our Ocean Safety Department has a new deputy chief, and our first deputy chief, actually he's a real personal good friend of mine, Jimmy Barros. Known him since I was 5 years old. We opened a new off-leash dog park in Makiki, and there is a new UV system protecting the waters of Kailua. So again, I will drop the link in the chat. And if there aren't any questions about those things, I will move to response from previous meetings.
Let's go right ahead.
Hearing none, resident Cam raised an issue about an unhoused individual with a potential aggressive unleashed dog, noting that the man sleeps around the southeast corner of Wilson Community Park. And that elicited response from three city departments. First of all, the Departments of Park and Recreation have encountered this individual twice in December and informed him about having an unleashed dog in the park, and that is not allowed. He did comply and left the park when told, but was seen again in the park on January 19th. He did not stay for long, so staff will continue to monitor and call HPD as necessary, and the public is encouraged to call HPD non-emergency if they see, or emergency if that is the urgency required if they see illegal activity in the park. From HPD's side, between January 27th and February 3rd, District 7 ATV all-terrain vehicle enforcement team conducted checks at the Wilson Community Park. They did not see anyone matching that description of the male, but they will continue to monitor the park for violations. And our Department of Community Service, the alphabet soup DCS. DCS staff visited that southeast corner of Wilson Park across Malia Street on the 26th and 27th and 28th of January between 6 to 8 p.m. And while they did not find that particular unhoused individual, they did note a small homeless encampment under the freeway. And we do want to work more collaboratively with Casey's team because they have twice removed people from living in the culvert and under the freeway, and they will continue their efforts until they are removed from the culvert and everybody is kept as safe as they can be. Bringing an update from Department of Transportation Services, my department, regarding speeding fronting Kāhala Towers. DTS did do their investigation into the board's request for infrastructure that might help reduce speeding or aid crossing. They did a speed check and a speed study and did confirm that motorists are traveling above the posted speed limit of 25 miles an hour in the Mackay-bound direction. And therefore, we have issued a letter to the Honolulu Police Department to step up enforcement. So if everybody should be aware, just watch your speed, as you always should anyway, on that stretch of Kilauea Avenue. The field inspection also confirmed that all the signs are operational, and we are going to look at the existing crosswalks and crossings in the area to see if there's anything we can do. I know as the Kāhala Towers residents suggested, to better daylight the crossings that are available over there. But the safest place to cross would likely be the marked crosswalks at Malia Street and Waiʻalae Avenue for now. With that, that brings an end to my report. Chair, if I may, on a note of personal privilege, I have taken a new role at the city, and I have moved to the position of Director of Transit for the Department of Transportation Services. So my replacement is a better man than I. He is Dr. Hong Lee. He is an engineer, and he has taken on the role as Deputy Director in the Department of Transportation Services. So this, unfortunately, well, actually, this is not going to be my last meeting, but I will accompany Dr. Hong Lee to the next meeting, and Dr. Lee will continue to serve you in the capacity as the mayor's rep from the Department of Transportation Services.
Whose mic is
I'm gonna
on?
ask.
Oh, there we go. Silence that. Thank you. John, we are glad to hear that you have been, I believe it's a promotion. I hope it's a promotion.
It is. It's really my passion is to design better transit and transportation networks for our residents. So it is in fact a promotion, and it's a position that I'm gonna love serving in. So, but I do have regrets that I'm not gonna see the board regularly as I have. But I will accompany Hong to the next meeting just to get him kind of acclimated, and so that this isn't the last time you'll see me.
No worries. Well, your sweet words and beautiful lies are well welcomed here, so thank you very much. If you are looking for an intern involving the design of better transportation, we happen to, if we could pan the camera to this gentleman right here, please. Oh, yes, I'm sure he does, but let's emphasize, please, emphasize. We have a incredible young public servant here, who I believe you know, but would be a privilege to have him work with you in an internship or maybe even a job, because you graduate soon, don't you? He's going to be on market soon too. Get him while he's hot. I mean, he's about to come right off the press, John. So, but congratulations on your new promotion. Before you get to run away, I believe Rich here has a question for you.
I don't know if this mic is working.
Yep.
Yeah, it's working. Okay. Yeah. So, John, congratulations on your promotion. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about traffic lights. I don't want to be a broken record. I've made this complaint before, but something is amiss at the traffic lights at Pueo and Kilauea in Kāhala. And Pueo is although Kilauea is the primary street in that intersection, Pueo is important. It's one of the main Malcolm Mackay
routes for commuters and also for buses and, other handy vans, etc. Okay, so about a year ago, something went amiss with the traffic light sequence. Prior to that, the traffic lights ran very well there. There was, an indicator when there was a car, a vehicle going up or down Pueo, and the traffic light, the red signal would hit 20 and then count down to 0, and there would be a green light, and the cars would be able to cross through the intersection. It was about a year ago when something went amiss. That indicator, the timer just wasn't working anymore. You'd pull up and it would count down from, you'd pull up on Pueo, it would count down from 20, and then when it got down to 0, you'd have to wait approximately another minute before the light would change green. So it's really slowed down traffic considerably, both for the vehicles, for the buses. Now, I did make this complaint several months ago, John, and you did say you checked with DTS, and DTS said that basically we were hallucinating, lying, or we're maybe living in another dimension, but that light was working exactly how it worked before. Okay, well, please trust me. It's not, it's messed up. There's major complaints now, and I see people, running the red light to get through, making a right-hand turn on Pueo, and then on to Kilauea, and then making an illegal U-turn, just to get moving. So something is amiss at that light. Can you please talk to the people and tell them that we are kindly asking them to try to fix that problem? Okay. Okay. Now, another light problem, which I want to bring up, and that's, that's the traffic, the commuter traffic going downtown. I know the city is trying to reinvigorate downtown, downtown Honolulu. Downtown Honolulu has not been in good shape, the last 10 years or so. And, there's a plan now to, make Chaplin Lane into a pedestrian-free street, extend the Fort Street Mall, which nobody uses now anyway, and which is dying, and raise property taxes there, downtown special property tax to turn Chaplin Lane into another unused pedestrian mall. Ridiculous idea. But what I did notice, though, what everybody has noticed, is that commuter traffic has been made a lot worse, both in the morning and the afternoon, because of changes made by DTS. For example, there's one downtown lane going down Punchbowl Street from the freeway down to downtown that has been taken away from the downtown users and instead given to the vehicles making a left-hand turn on, King Street, heading to wherever they're going, Kakako, someplace else, which makes the downtown commute in the morning much more miserable for the drivers. Why DTS did that is beyond me. It could be another hallucination problem. But then it's even worse going up Alakea to get out of downtown, starting at 4:30, because you took that one lane away for a bike lane. So there's only 3 lanes rather than 4 lanes, and the bike lane is not used. And now I see it's being converted to homeless camps. We have homeless people living in that unused bike lane besides other, parked vehicles. And so that's a mess. And then there's no traffic light sequence going up Alakea on Queen Street, Merchant, and King Street. So maybe every light change, you get maybe 2 or 3 cars going through, and the traffic is unmercifully backed up. Can you please try to fix that? If the city really wants to revitalize downtown, you got to do something about these commuter problems. All right, thank you.
How do we improve the lights, the bike lanes, the homeless problem, Fort Street Mall, and Pueo and Kilauea? Got it. So 4. Does anybody else on the board have any questions or comments for Mr. John Nucci from the mayor's office?
Yeah, Peter does.
Hey, Peter.
May I go ahead?
Please go right ahead.
John, some of us keep track of homeless people and they sort of become friends. So on the lookout nearest the Triangle Park, our friend Sonny has disappeared. And he was taken away by 5 EMS vehicles and 2 police cars. I don't know how they come up with that sort of number, but anyway, where do we call to find out if he's, they said he was in housing, but that could be he's dead or in housing or something. So where would I call to find out if Sonny's with us or not?
I can ask that question to our crisis outreach and response team, our core team. Off the cuff, I'd say that, you know, he is his own individual, and I don't know that they can give out information,
Oh,
personal
yeah.
information regarding that, but I'd start with them. That number is 768 CORE,
768.
CORE.
Sorry, give me the
768
last 4 digits.
CORE. So it,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I would give it a call. I think, you know,
Yep.
they're compassionate individuals. Maybe they might be able to oblige.
Maybe if they could give me a dead or alive reading.
I think that's probably a harder question, but yeah, I would. I think, you know, if you come from a place of caring, and they're very compassionate people.
Thank you very much.
All right, awesome. Does anybody else in the community have any questions for John Nucci?
Hey, John. Evening. Paul Hogan from Kāhala Towers again. Missed you last month. Just checking up on the our Kilauea exit to paint a couple red stripes there so we don't get into an accident on Kilauea Avenue. And also across the street, the light at the YMCA been out for a year. So we're just trying to get that taken care of. If you can check on that, please.
I can, and I reported previously though, the city does not paint red curbs for no parking. They would have to be indicated by signage prior to the driveway. So my engineers were looking at that. I can get another question as to why. I would have thought they would have concluded that in their study, but let me go back and find that out. Can you tell me a little bit more about the light at the Y? When you say light, is that a street light or is that a traffic signal?
Street light.
Okay. That's opposite the Y on, I guess, what street is that on? That's on
Kilauea. It's
on
right
Kilauea.
outside
Okay.
the Y.
Okay. We can report that to our Department of Facility Maintenance.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Immediate follow-up question. When will the sign at the Kāhala Towers be installed so that way there is no parking blocking the driveway so they can leave the building without being hit by cars?
I'll have to check on that.
Thank you. And what was your replacement's name?
His name is Hong Lee.
Hong Lee. Okay, perfect. I would also greatly appreciate it if you would be able to, before our next meeting next month, catch him up on all the reoccurring issues that we've been facing. So that way he at least comes in with a level of due diligence. So that way we don't restart the process all over again. We can continue kind of pushing where we're at right now.
Already done, Chair. I actually briefed him tonight, but he is trying to get a grant out in time for tomorrow. So I told him I'd cover for him one more meeting.
I love it. That's why I promoted John. That's it right there. I see that Barry right here also has a comment as well.
Mr. Noguchi, congratulations on your moving into your area of greatest passion. I have a question about a traffic study that we had requested for our neighborhood intersection from the responsible, I was told he was the responsible engineer at DTS for our vicinity, which is in, I can describe it, but it's in an area on the slopes of Diamond Head off of 22nd Avenue. And that was about at least 4 months ago. He said that he was going to put it into the queue of studies to be done, and that was a separate group or department that then processed those. And it sounded like I might hear something, or at least I would see something in this, being done with a study, but I haven't heard or seen anything. So I'm not sure what the best way would be to follow up on that. Would it be to call the same individual I spoke to before, or is there a way I could identify the intersection and have it followed up on somehow?
Yeah, you can either let me know where that is now. I'm assuming that's 22nd Avenue upslope from Diamond Head Road.
Actually, it's downslope. It's actually at the intersection of Pu'upanini Avenue, which comes off of 22nd, and
Got
it's
it.
cross street. Cross street is Palikaua.
Okay. I can follow up. I would also encourage you to just call that engineer back, because then it doesn't have to filter through the system. I don't know who that is, so call him and I'll see.
And I
if
don't,
they've
as
done
I
any
sit here
studies.
either. I don't know as I sit here either, but I can, I'm sure, look it up somehow. It was a phone conversation that we had.
Okay.
Back, and he returned my call.
Okay. Well, at any rate, I'll make an attempt to get that. It does have to go to our planning division, who conducts all the traffic studies, and they provide the data back to our engineers. So it is a hand holding task there.
Right.
So we can we'll get a status for you on that.
Thank you very much, John.
You, sir. Hello.
Okay, so I live on
Please introduce yourself.
I'm Stephen Hirano. I live at Tropic Gardens, and so I like to go to Wilson Park to play baseball. My brothers went to school at Wilson. My brother also plays at the Wilson Park. And so when we cross the crosswalk, you mentioned that the crosswalks are the safest place to cross. Now, the crosswalk at Kilauea and Malia, the crossing Kilauea Avenue along the intersection at Malia, the parking sign the cars parking can obstruct the view of when you're trying to see the cars. And so and also one time I saw an illegally parked car past the no parking sign. So I think an extension of the sidewalk out and a further moving back of the no parking sign would be better, so that you could see cars easier when you're crossing from Kilauea to the Tropic Garden side to Wilson.
What was your name one more time?
Stephen Hirano.
Stephen? Stephen, I appreciate you bringing this up. Thank you. It seems like we have a reoccurring issue here with parked cars blocking views and endangering pedestrians. In addition to requesting that the parking be pushed back, as well as potentially exploring expanding the sidewalks as well. Is there any way that we could potentially request? I see on South King and all these other fancy places, they've got these lights. What is it called? I'm gonna give it to my transportation expert real quick.
Oh, rapid reflective flashing beacons, RRFBs.
I think they're talking about a bulb out.
Yeah, so we could look at doing a potential quick build curb extension there. What you do have there is you have the benefit of having a pretty wide roadway and a small partial median. So we might be able to put a refuge island midway on the crosswalk, in addition to maybe a quick build bulb out, or curb extension it's called. What makes it a little bit hard there is the approach of the westbound approach on Malia as it approaches Kilauea is a very soft angle, and there is turning triangle. We call it a pork chop, but it's a right turn channelized lane that comes off of Malia, so you can turn right and go Mako bound on Kilauea. So that does kind of complicate things a little bit, but we could look at a quick build solution there that could encounter an RRFP and a potential curb extension.
Okay, and then so the reflective lights, the ones that you click and it makes the flashes across the pedestrian. What is that called again?
Rapid reflective flashing beacon, RRFB.
Yeah. Whatever we can do to help increase pedestrian safety in that area, because Tropic Gardens, I know Waiʻalae Gardens is right next, and there's also the Tropicana right there. How many units are in Tropic? 50 something. So we've got several hundred people like right in that area, plus 2 large apartment buildings. We've got the Kāhala and we got the others. So again, it seems as though pedestrian safety is a rising concern, and the need to block off more parking for visibility and safety in the area, along with automobile safety, would be greatly appreciated by the community over here.
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Thank you.
John, just as a reminder, that intersection was brought up about 6 months ago, where somebody has suggested put up traffic lights. Some of us didn't think that was the best solution, but you mentioned that you're going to have some engineers study that.
Yeah, a traffic light is a very specific installation. There are federal highway standards that go in front of installing a traffic signal, and we have to make sure that those warrants are met and those conditions are met. So I can look at and see what the study was, but I think there are progressive things we can do on a more quick time frame. A traffic signal, unfortunately, is pretty it's pretty heavy construction. I know it sounds very simple, but with the federal highway standards, it's going to take up a big chunk of the sidewalk, and since we don't have large sidewalks there, putting mast arms and things like that over the wide roadways might actually block significant portions of the sidewalk, and it's going to turn into a larger construction project than anticipated. So I'd rather recommend that we look at some quick build techniques that would, more expeditiously improve the safety at this crossing.
Yeah, and that's what was suggested the last time, not so much a study of the traffic light, but a study of what solutions might be available. So
Yeah,
that,
and
it may have
even
been
these
looked at a
quick
little bit.
build things do have some warrants that need to be met. So I could take a look at the study a little bit more and see what is possible here. So it's more that we're somewhat limited to what the engineering standards are as prescribed by our federal guidelines and our manual of uniform traffic control devices.
Thank you. Yeah, and as you know, there's a lot of children that play on those grounds. So there's a lot of kids coming from all directions. So the safety of our keiki is important.
Brian, you have your hand raised.
Thanks, Chair. Hey, John. First of all, again, congratulations on your promotion. Two items here. One is follow-up information regarding that streetlight pole that's been out for over a year. I reported that personally on 311, the old system, at least 2 to 3 times, and at least once on the new system. And then I reported it at the neighborhood board last month. The poll number is 2471. That needs to be taken care of already. It's been much too long that it's been inoperating all this time. So that's point number one. Appreciate your help in that area. The other is with regards to the traffic study that's been talked about just now, which was I wanted to bring up separately, but it just, I guess it coincides. I noticed that the roadway near Wilson Park on Malia Street, right near the bridge, somewhere on that area, there's a traffic counter that's been installed, a pneumatic traffic counter, and I wanted to know what are we studying to have that installed there. So if we can find that out, appreciate it. I would assume it has something to do with that intersection, but I'd like to have the details, please.
Yeah, we can get back to you on that. Generally, so I mean, so everybody understands the traffic study, even if we want to talk about this intersection of Malia and Kilauea, we have to measure all the approaches. I mean, it's just otherwise we measure data in a vacuum, right? So that might be related to that. It might not be. So I'll find out more information on that.
Appreciate it. Thanks, John.
Does anybody else have any questions for the mayor's representative? My turn. All right, John, here we go. The gentleman with the dog that Dallin brought up. I was actually bit by that dog twice. I did call the police. They did show up. The gentleman left and abandoned his dog there. And they actually made me deal with the dog. And I had to have one of my employees come and pick up the dog and then take it to the Humane Society because I had to make it to the neighborhood board meeting. I think it was 2 months ago when I showed up wearing boots covered in blood and dirt. So
That was the encounter you had in the cemetery, right?
that is the encounter I had in the cemetery, the one and the same. I've also noticed that the exact same gentleman has moved back and forth between Zippy's, and then there's that monster house that still has not been addressed. There's a little section over there that he likes to live in, still with the same dogs, still in the same area, doing the same thing. I actually witnessed him buy crack the other day. I assume it's crack, but it was a rock-like substance in a clear plastic bag that came out of a backpack and was being dealt openly at Zippy's. And I was just sitting there popping a U-turn at the light. So there seems to be a sense of lawlessness going around in that certain area. But so to Dallin's point, the police have been called, the authorities have been brought in, and all it did was cost me $75 in payroll to get it handled, and a nice bruise on my leg. So in addition to calling the police, what method might we utilize to get an actual result when it comes to this sort of thing? Because I've got one, I've got two, and I've probably got three somewhere else over here. So in terms of pushing things forward and getting real results that stick, I know that, you know, it's the government and sometimes it's big and it's slow and it's not fun, and that's okay. Because anything big is sometimes slow to respond. But we have a lot of people here, myself included, who are looking for a response, who are going about this the best way and trying to do it in the way that we've been told to do it. And that way is not working. So what is the way we should go about it now?
I can't, sorry, Chair, I can't answer that for you in my transportation capacity, but I will take that question back. After all the exhaustive work that has been done so far, what is the next step? I think does that frame your question sufficiently?
Yeah. And in addition to that, whoever the person is that makes that decision, I would greatly appreciate it if at the next meeting you would just bring them so we could just talk to them in person. Just have them come on Zoom, in person, doesn't matter. Just bring them. I would love to talk to them.
Okay. As we discussed today, though, with that issue, it is this last issue raised by resident Cam was a tri-departmental effort. So I'm not sure who exactly it squarely falls upon, but we'll determine that and prepare a response and see if that person can make it up.
Awesome. And whoever decides what responsibility it falls to, bring them to. I would also love to talk to them.
We'll make that effort.
Thank you very much. Up next, you brought up Diamond Head. There has been a strange stop sign that has been installed along Diamond Head Road that came out of nowhere. And I spoke with several members of the Diamond Head Neighborhood Board, and they don't remember having asked for that or voted on that, but it showed up out of nowhere. And it's blocking all traffic coming up around Diamond Head Road. But it also happens to coincide with a street that has like 12 very wealthy individuals that live up of it. So I'm curious as to where the stop sign came from, who asked for it to be installed, and why it was installed so quickly. And then also no warning signs were put up. So I blew through it 3 times, and I know hundreds of other people have done so as well. I am very curious about that in addition to everything. So thank you for bringing up Diamond Head Road. I would love that response on the next one. Kāhala Towers, we addressed. Unit core, perfect.
Chair, we can bring you the very long history of that stop sign at Waiʻalae Place. I do believe it was discussed previously at the Diamond Head Neighborhood Board. I don't know who you spoke to at the neighborhood board, but it has been a topic of some contention. So we can perhaps provide some history on that. It has to do with a long history of crashes that occurred along that stretch of Diamond Head Road.
I would love that information. Thank you. All right. And okay, all right. I think we are all good. Does anybody else have any questions for John Nucci from the mayor's office? John, thank you so much for your time this evening. It is greatly appreciated. Perfect. Up next, Council Member Tommy Waters. Do we have a representative from Council Member Tommy
Hi.
Waters' office? Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes. If I could have you position the microphone just a little bit away from is coming through, or turn down the volume. Perfect. All right. Try again.
Hi. Testing.
All right, Tasha, we can hear you. How you doing this evening?
Hi. Good. Good evening, Chair and board members. I just have a couple of quick updates. The first one is regarding Queen Theater. So the City Council approved Chair Waters' resolution urging the administration to begin steps to acquire the Queen Theater property, which has long stood vacant and deteriorating in the heart of Kaimuki. After touring the site, however, the administration determined that redevelopment would be extremely challenging due to the lack of parking, structural issues, and significant financial constraints. Chair Water wants to assure everyone he's not giving up. The restoration of the historic Hilo Palace Theater shows what is possible. Once in similarly deteriorated conditions, the 100-year-old theater has been successfully rehabilitated and is now thriving again. Chair Waters has been meeting with stakeholders involved in that effort and will continue to keep the neighborhood boards updated as discussions move forward. And lastly, in response to concerns of homeless individuals occupying 4041 Waiʻalae Avenue, our office submitted a riser, and HPD says officers checked the property on January 21 and 2022 and did not observe any homeless individuals in the area. HPD says they will continue to make checks, and if you do spot an homeless individual, HPD encourages you to call 911. And with that, I'm happy to take back any questions or concerns.
Does anybody have any questions for Council Member Tommy Waters, Representative Tasha Luke? Please introduce yourself into the microphone.
Hello, this is Dalen Cam. Give me a moment. This is $110. And the reason I bring that up is because Tommy Waters recently voted yes on Bill 54 to increase my bus fare, which is $110 more every year. While I know he has communicated many times, it is a core part of his platform to increase affordability. That does not seem like a move that moves towards that goal. Thank you very much.
Can I see the money one more time? Thank you very much. Tasha, do we have a response to that?
I will bring that back to Chair and have a response at the next meeting.
Awesome. Tasha, if you haven't met Dallin yet, Dallin is a student at the University of Hawaii. He's exactly the type of person we are trying to keep here in the islands. He is involved in the community. He is a diligent student from what I understand, and he is involved in every way we want him to be involved. Dallin, how much money do you make? None monies. Oh, John, we hear that summer internship still on the table. Dallin, what is 0 minus 110? The negative 110. That's not a large number, is it? It's very little. The point I am sarcastically trying to make is that oftentimes with our university students and the very people we are trying to keep here, certain policies might affect them adversely in such a way that drives them elsewhere or makes them feel unwanted here. And if we can support the people who are going to be paying all the taxes, carrying all the burdens and bills moving forward into the next fiscal seasons, maybe we would have an easier time paying our bills. So if we can help people like Dallin, I think that would be excellent.
Absolutely, I agree. I will let Chair know.
Thank you very much. Up next.
Maybe we can get Mayor Madambi out here and have free buses.
I mean, really? I love that. Yeah. Public transportation should be free.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to billionaires communities like Aspen and Sun Valley, guess what? They all have free bus fare in those billionaire communities.
That's to help keep their maids' wages low. I believe we've got another interested citizen.
My name is Randy Port, and this is for Tasha. Tasha, we just wanted to say thank you for the help from you and from Adam Dew on that issue we have with the DOE lot and with the problems with all the refuse on the sidewalk and the street, and for being receptive when we've sent copies of the slides to you and Adam. And also, Adam is checking. I don't know if you're working with him on this right now or not, but on the ROH issue on the requirement for a landowner to keep a sidewalk clear, and if they don't keep it clear, then the city can require them to clear it, and if they don't, they can charge them for the city cleaning up. And Adam's looking into that. So if you could just, I don't know if you're working on that with him or not, but in any case, if you could pass the word on to Adam also and just say thank you very much for checking into that, and we look forward to anything else he can find out about the applicability of it to that DOE lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, they've been very patient again on that DOE lot. So whatever we can do to help move that forward. Again, one of my companies has offered to donate a free landscape design so that we can just get this thing moving forward. All native plants, not controversial at all. Be so easy. So please help support them, help support us in getting this facility looking the way it should, and that the DOE has a responsibility to keep it up and clean. So please pass that along to Chair Waters as well.
Will do, for sure.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Tasha Luke, representative from Colin.
Hey, Tasha, I appreciate you reporting back on the abandoned home. I guess I was just wondering what does a police check look like when you're saying the police are checking that building out?
That I'm not entirely sure. I believe they go by the property. I'm not sure if they actually look inside the property. But I can find out what exactly it is they're doing when they check.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I mean it just seems not really doing the due diligence if they're just driving by the property and saying it's vacant.
Yeah, I'll definitely double check and follow up.
But I mean, I also understand that the complications about entering a property like that. So, I mean, I guess if it would be great if we could have an understanding of if they're actually entering the home and checking it out, or if it's just a drive-by, because I don't think a drive-by is doing the appropriate thing. Because as Christian mentioned, like I regularly take that off ramp and see somebody in that yard or in something there, on a regular basis, and it's hard to hear that they have not witnessed anything.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely follow up.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for Tasha Luke from Council Members Tommy Waters' office? Tasha, I have, let's see, 2 quick questions for you. Queen's Theater, that is a privately owned venue property.
Right.
And so my question would be then is, why are they allowed to keep a property in such a state of disrepair and not be forced on sale or forced on demo, or why are they allowed to keep their property in a state of danger and unkemptness when I know a lot of us are held to a different standard?
Okay, I will double check on that and bring back an answer at the next meeting.
Please, thank you. Yeah, I know several developers who would water at the mouth to get their hands on the thing and throw in a lovely apartment building or something over there, get the housing crisis solved, something. Barry, I see we've got a question.
Well, certainly the
Just
Queen,
add to
the
that.
Queen Theater. Oh, go ahead. Oh, after you, Richard.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, this has been going on for probably about 30 years. There's been community groups that have been urging the city to do something about Queen Theater before a lot of us here were born. This has been going on, and there have been promises by the city council members for decades. We're going to take action. We're going to do something about it. But, the ugliest part of capitalism comes into fore. Oh, I'm a business, I own this property. You're trying to take away my property. Just do it. I mean, the owner is kind of a Kawamoto type guy. And for decades, he's just been thumbing his nose at the community and at the city council and just really laughing at the powers to be. So I, for one, am so tired of hearing, this noise. Oh, we're going to do something about it. Do something about it. It's getting to be the third generation now. So please tell Chair Waters to get it done finally.
Thank you. Barry, anything to add on top of that?
I merely echo what Mr. Turbin just said, and I'm one community member that would be very interested in assisting, supporting the issue in any way that could be done through Chair Waters' office. So I'm not sure if you mentioned there were other community groups supportive of this, and I've read of some of them in the past. If I were to contact your office, could you share that information with me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Tasha. I'm Barrett Francis. I'll give you a call.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for those passionate words. Thank you for offering to assist however you can, Barry. And thank you, Tasha, for taking this to Council Member Waters. In addition to that, we have been on the topic of the homeless for, I think, since I joined this board, and I'm sure it was happening before me, and I'm sure it will happen after me. But going real back to the issue of homelessness, 2 weeks ago, a gentleman that, for whatever reason, is obsessed with one of the properties that my business is on, showed back up after the third restraining order that we've had on him. And he threw a chain at one of my employees driving through a gate in a car, which almost caused the car to crash. And then he attempted to assault my employee. I jumped in a car. I followed him. I called 911. I followed him to the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf at the Foodland across the street. He proceeded to throw a chair at me, locked himself in the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, had a breakdown. The cop showed up. They said that he had done nothing wrong and couldn't be arrested because he had broken no laws. And then proceeded to find that he had a warrant out for his arrest and then arrested him. After he had thrown a chair and assaulted one of my employees. And I sound like a broken record, but we keep coming back to the same point over and over and over again. And we have a homeless issue. And to reiterate, these are people who require care. These are people who require kindness and government support and the help that they deserve. But also at the same time, we deserve to be able to operate in a personal, professional, and a business capacity without the threat of everyday having to worry about if the monster home right next to our house is going to burn down, or if we're going to get assaulted, or if I'm going to have a chair thrown at me, or bitten by a dog, or attacked at a bus stop. I know the newsletters always stress how much the homeless issue has been decreased in Waikiki. But again, we know where they're being moved to. They're in our community. They deserve support and help, but also at the same time too, we need support of our own to prevent more damage, more fear, and we need more progress. And the current level of support and progress that we've been getting is not enough. So if you can reiterate these words, please, kindly, to Councilmember Waters. I'm sure he gets it every meeting from every neighborhood board, but we are genuinely experiencing a unique and I've lived in Kāhala pretty much my entire life. This is new. This is something else. It's pervasive. It's sad in every direction. And you know, I know Councilmember Waters. He is extremely passionate and, you know, works very, very hard. He is running up and down the street 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. He's doing the work, but and I know he's got everybody clamoring for his attention and his assistance, but we need it here. We need it with this issue in particular because it's really getting out of hand. So if he wants to call or talk or come walk the streets or literally whatever he wants to do, if we can just get him 5, 10, 15 minutes, I would just love to show him exactly how bad it's gotten because it's getting really, really bad. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll let him know.
Christian?
Yep. Oh,
Can I
go.
add comments onto that? In our area, we have a lot of homeless living on the slopes of Diamond Head. And we had a few living in Triangle Park. I called CORE about one person who was very unhygienic and just acting crazy in the park. They sent out a police officer. They ask them if they want to go get help. The person says no. They can't force them because they can't do drugs. They can't drink alcohol in these facilities. And if they're crazy, mental issues, they don't want to go. So I think we need to step up and institutionalize people, not only for their own safety, but for ours. Like Christian got hurt, and other people have been severely frightened by behavior of others and unhygienic and finding needles on the beach. I think something stronger has to be done. That's my comments.
I just add quickly to that. Cities on the mainland, well, first of all, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that municipalities can pass laws that mandate involuntary incarceration and treatment for mentally ill homeless. Okay. And there's a lot of cities on the mainland who have passed ordinances that allow that to be done. And it's been very successful. You know, the Rhode Island, for one, the municipalities in Rhode Island and Massachusetts have passed such laws. You know, both Governor Green and Mayor Blangiardi have articulated they are in support of such legislation here. I think all of us would like to see the Honolulu City Council moving in that direction, the state legislature moving in that direction. If other cities are doing it on the mainland and it's working, and the reports are very positive, and by the way, many of the incarcerated homeless appreciate it once they receive the appropriate treatment and heal themselves, and they're in support of the law. So we need to do it here.
You're here. You're here. Oof. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, so Tasha, we stand here united in one thing, but united nevertheless. And there's precedent, there's opportunity. And I know that Hawaii likes to trail 5 to 15 years behind every other state, but we have an opportunity to join some of the forefront leaders in perhaps something that make it safer, make it better, increase tax dollars, increase tourism, whatever have you. But let's jump on this wagon while we can, please.
Thank you. I'll mention it to Chair and we'll definitely discuss it.
You can mention it to city council members if anybody is interested on the city council on being the next mayor. Oof, they should get going on this.
I like that. We do bribe here. Does anybody else have any questions for Councilmember Tammy Waters, Representative Tasha Luke? Tasha, as always, your presence is appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
You as well. Up next, Mark Hashem. Representative Mark Hashem, you here this evening? Going once. Going
Yes,
twice.
I am.
No
Hello,
way.
everybody.
Whoa.
I'm still at
Ladies
the
and
Capitol.
gentlemen. Oh my God. There it is. Oh my God. Hold on. Sorry. I got to look up a photo of you real quick just to make sure that you are who you say you are.
Okay, can we jump right in?
Oh, hold on one second. Just Mother of God, it is. Oh,
Hello,
good
everybody.
evening, Representative Hashem. How are you this evening?
I'm busy. I just signed my last committee report.
Oh.
And as you can see, I'm still in my office. So, yeah, we signed it today is a deadline at the Capitol. So it's first lateral. It has to get into the last committee by today, or else the bills are dead. So we had to sign a whole bunch of committee reports to get it into the last committee. Anyways, my day is finally over. The big thing for our district, or for District 19, that District 19, the House District 19 goes from basically Kāhala Mall to Costco, Hawaii Kai Costco. And we just finished a project today, or the blessing was today for the harbor, Hawaii Kai Marina. And that was dredged. We allocated $6.5 million about 3 years ago. The project is ahead of schedule and they finished. And what was happening was the boats were bottoming out in the channel. So we allocated funds to get that dredged. And that was finally complete today. And we're going to move on to phase 2 of the project, would be to repave the parking lot and do improvements to the whatchamacallit, to the parking lot to increase the water flow because it puddles. And I'm here for any questions if you have any questions. That's the big news about the district. But anyways.
Thank you very much. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Representative Mark Hashem? Anybody in the community have any questions for Representative Mark Hashem here live in the flesh? Oh, that is an excellent question.
Thank
Mark,
you. I
Mark.
can go home.
No, oh no, not yet. No, we're not done yet.
No, going once, going twice.
Mark, I just want to say thank you for seeing me on opening day.
Oh yeah, how are you doing? See, you're working too.
Well, yeah, I'm still working too. Everybody's gonna work, right? So appreciate you seeing me on opening day, and I'm glad you could show up.
No, anytime. You're always welcome. Whenever you're in the Capitol, please stop by my office.
I will. Thank you very much.
Okay, mahalo.
No. I have a couple questions real quick before you run on out. So very exciting about the boats now that the oceans have been secured. Might we return our attention to the land? There are a bunch of people who don't have homes, who have been making the community that you represent a dangerous place to live and have been making things unsightly, unsafe, and just overall unpleasant, not for their fault, but for an unfortunate chemical misbalance in their brain. And it seems as though everybody is unable to help, but luckily here we have a representative live and in person. And now we are asking you directly, how can we improve the Kāhala area? Because we need to make sure that this homeless issue is being addressed. Tina Grandetti, one of your peers, I believe, in the Capitol, she shows up almost every single meeting. And when she doesn't show up, I believe she actually cousin, is it? We have a cousin, so still genetically
she's here
she's
in the building
present.
too. She's still here. I believe
Yes,
she's
she is.
still
She
here.
works very hard and still manages to find her way here once a month. It's incredible. And so on top of that, she has been very active, proactive, and responsive to all members of this community in terms of the things that we've been dealing with. And I know that she feels this in her heart and in her soul because she's here experiencing what we experience every month and seeing the way that these people react and the things that they're going through. She feels that because she experiences it firsthand because she's here in person. And so, Representative Hashem, how are you helping? We are trying to get a solution in place. So how are you helping? How can you
So the
help?
I don't remember off the top of my head. The legislature allocated, I think it was, Jesus, $26 million in Housing First funds. I can't recall. There was $50 million that was allocated to the Rental Housing Revolving Fund last year and $50 million in the Tier 2. And what that goes to, basically every dollar that you put into the Rental Housing Revolving Fund equals $3 of construction for affordable housing. And a lot of those, so basically you have $150 million worth of affordable housing projects that go up. And that essentially goes to, a portion of that goes to, what is that? Housing First vouchers. And usually, well, the projects that I work on, usually it goes 10% of the, you don't want to go 10% more for Housing First and homeless, because you don't want to have a building full of just homeless people or people with special needs, because then you create a difficult dynamic. So about 10 to 15% is about right. That is well, that's the way we do it, or at the legislature on the state level.
So by building more housing in 3 to 5 years, we might be able to tackle 15% of the problem?
You're talking about 15% of the units, the affordable housing units, are going to Housing First, is what I'm trying to say. There's also, I gotta remember, there's also, I can't remember off the top of my head on the budget of what is allocated, but I can get back to you on that.
Please, we would love more information on this, and not just, projects that build projects and ideas further down the future line, but also the things today. Actually, Anson, if you could pull up those photos I gave you, please, I would love that. I have here for everyone's display. If you have any children, please shield your eyes. They are rather unpleasant. But a couple of photos that were sent to me by a resident at the Kāhala Towers, and I believe the Kāhala Towers is District 19, is it not? It is. My goodness.
Yes, that's correct. Across
Excellent.
the street is
Oh,
District 20.
so this problem is literally in your backyard. How fortunate. So we have, if you could, come on now. Please hold for bureaucratic technicalities. Deep state. Well, since we're having technical difficulties, I will use my vocabulary to describe the photos, all 5 of them. It is a homeless woman. Oh, there we go. Thank you. That is a homeless woman passed out in the street with her shopping cart. She is there. Correct, Alan. She is there every day. District 19, right out front of Kāhala Towers. That is, yep, there. Kāhala Towers making a strong representation tonight. And the other 4 photos, for whatever reason, which you don't want to download right now, there is a lovely one of her defecating, I believe is the polite term, into the street and then also into the planters right next to the street. Yes, yeah, also Kāhala Towers. There are several other photos of her passed out in states, and oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. Thank you. So this is an ongoing problem, according to the person who sent this to me, for over 6 months now. Several years. That's bigger than 6 months. Thank you, Dallin. So we have a reoccurring issue, which is, there it is. Thank you. Taking up the entire bus stop as well. And again, not her fault. Ill. The other week there were 2 of them, just on that one bus stop. But we have a population which requires help. We have apparently $26 million to throw towards other people building buildings, selling them off, and buying stuff. But we have a population right here, right now, that needs help. And we are asking the person whose literal job it is to assist with this to help. So please help.
Okay, noted.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Christian?
Please.
So, Representative Hashem, couldn't we
Yes.
build a large tent city somewhere on the island, have social services there, have medical services there, have transportation buses to major bus stops, and put the people like this we just saw at those places? They're going to get help. Their quality of life will improve. All of us who are impacted by them will also improve. It'll probably be less expensive than all the cleanup we have to do, all the emergency services that have to come take care of these people. Why not, immediately open up something now, not wait 15, 20 years till we build houses or apartments, 15%. Do something right now for everybody.
So the governor and the mayor, John's no longer here, or Tommy's office with the city. So the state and the state and the city did a triage center in Waiʻalae, similar to what you're talking about. So there's little housing units that are next to the old the First Hawaiian Bank by Ala Park. And that's a triage unit where they bring in people, the homeless people, like that lady that you just showed. They'll bring her there, and there's doctors and services, and there's also, I guess you call it, tiny homes. So there's a system that's put in place for immediate rapid rehousing. And that's the first step.
I mean, could we call tomorrow and have her taken there? What's the process?
Rich, you're an attorney, so you might be able to speak to this better. Right? You can't force people off the street. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, you can. If they're a danger to themselves or others, you can force them off the street. I mean, I was just talking about that. And I know both the mayor and the governor have been talking about, passing firm legislation, either in the state legislature or the city council or both, to make it very clear to the police that when they're ordered to take somebody off the street, they'll take them off the street. Now,
because we passed legislation before to force medication, right? So when homeless people that are not mentally there, there's legislation that we passed several years back now. That
you're referring to the CARES Act, but the CARES Act has
I
to
don't know
be
if that's the
chosen.
CARES Act. This was a long time ago, before the governor was still in the Senate at that time. So no,
Mark, the U.S. Supreme Court passed that decision last year.
Johns v. Boise.
Yeah, I was concerned in Oregon municipality that passed a law that permitted city authorities, municipal authorities to take these people off the street involuntarily and put them in a facility. So it's constitutional, but you have to have the will. You really have to have the local politicians have the will to pass something and enforce it, and also require the police department, police officers to do the dirty work of taking them away. Okay, because I mean, it's not the most pleasant jobs that
But we
policemen
get
have.
okay. So, Rich, do you know what law that is? Can you pull that stuff up? And I would be more than willing to work with you to try to push something through the
Just
legislature.
gave you the name of the case.
Yeah, Johns v. Boise. I actually wrote my doctoral thesis on it. But Supreme Court says that you can utilize the Eighth Amendment because previous cases said that replacing or rehoming a homeless person repeatedly is a form of torture. The Supreme Court said or refused to hear the case, which certified it, so that if you are the police and you have a homeless person passed out on a bus stop, defecating openly, you are allowed to take them and push them or move them somewhere as long as you have a place to take them to. So as long as you have a tent city, which is built specifically for rehabilitation and providing medical services and treatments that are required that this person needs, you
So
would be able to.
we do have those facilities. I don't know how full they are because it's been
Well,
a
you
while
have the
since I.
Supreme Court right behind you too. So it sounds like we've got a way. We just need a will at this point.
Okay.
So
One of the excuses that are made is we don't have enough facilities. But if you really study it and you look at the facility at Waiʻalae, they have plenty of room. They have plenty of beds. So it really needs to have, we really need to have our city fathers and mothers have enough guts and the will to to do something about the problem. And you have to have a cooperative police chief also. That's part of the problem. I
So
mean,
what is stopping Hawaii from doing that? The police won't do it?
Okay, I'll give you a little anecdote. I mean, we had somebody, a homeless lady on Kāhala Beach, wrecking Kāhala Beach. And I called up Mayor Blangiardi, and he had the police haul her away. In a few days, they came back. I called up Mayor Blangiardi again, and that day he had the police haul her away. And then she came back. And then the next time I called Mayor Blangiardi, he said, "Rich, do you get the problem I have here? You have to get, the city fathers, the police department in sync to do it. So, and there has to be a hue and cry. You're hearing the hue and cry here, but at some point, our city fathers and mothers have to step up, and that also includes our our state legislators like yourself, Mark, got to
So
step
is
up.
there, yeah,
Really?
well, my question is there specific legislation that we need to pass? I mean, I know this is a court case, but is there a specific legislation that we need? Is there a specific law that we need? Or
I think the law is not being allowed to defecate on the sidewalk. And then from there,
we already have that law in place.
There's
We already
plenty of
have that law in
laws
place.
that give
Yeah,
the police the authority to take these people into facilities.
Okay. All right.
I would be more than happy to meet with you in person. There's several great models that have been born out of Arizona, California, Oregon, even surprisingly Georgia,
Yeah,
that
interesting.
have phenomenal results, high acceptance rates, and they actually end up saving the state a ton of money because a lot of the in-state healthcare system burdens are removed. I remember reading reports, I think it was a couple of years ago, that 80% or 60% of the ambulatory care bills come from the same like 12 people, and all of them
Yeah.
also happen to be homeless.
Yeah, that's
So
the same
by
thing as Hawaii.
so by providing care to those people, you remove the burden of the bill, and also get them the treatment that they need. So like I said, I'd be more than happy to meet with you in person and show you all the good work that the other states are doing. Like
Can
Rich
you?
said, if you have higher political office aspirations,
No,
this
I
is a
don't have
great
higher
way.
political office, but I would like to solve this problem if you have a solution. So, you know what? Can you call my
Providence,
office
Rhode
and ask for it?
Island is a good example of a municipality who has done well with this.
Rhode Island, you said?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sure, I would love to sit down and try to discuss this in more detail.
Please. Have your people call my people.
What's your okay. All right. I'll
But if
follow up.
you, I will have Anson connect us in an email together, and we will set a date to meet together. Also, we do meet here once a month, and again via Zoom, via person. We would love to have you again as well. But
Well,
I really do
yeah.
appreciate you taking the time to show up this evening. It is a pleasure to meet you.
For a detail, yeah. I've been there before. It's just been a while, but yeah, we can take this conversation offline
Please.
and get more details later. Okay, good.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Thank you so much. Up
Okay.
next, Representative Tina Grandinetti. Are you here this evening? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Up next, Senator Stanley Chang. Do we have a representative from Senator Stanley Chang's office? Going once. Also a face we haven't seen in a while. Going twice. Sold. Resident community concerns. We are now opening the floor to anybody in the community who has any concerns that have not been addressed this evening. Does anybody have any concerns that they would like to bring forward to the board and have heard? Perfect. Anybody online? Perfect. All right. Up next, I require approval for the board's regular meeting minutes from Thursday, January 15th. Can I have a vote in the affirmative? Perfect. All right. The minutes are approved. Excellent. Determination of our recess schedule for the upcoming year. In the past, we've done December and June. That is what we've done for the past 2 years. Would we like to do it again this year?
So currently there's a situation where the mayor's town hall will be on one of our May's meeting on May 21st, 2026. And we actually have to either reschedule it or just change it as a recess. So okay with changing it to, from instead of June, it'll be just May recess and then three, but we suggest two. So two is like, three is like if something were to happen, we can do a recess. But
I motion to swap our July recess with the May recess.
Excellent. Do you have a second?
Second.
Seconds, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Peter? Brian?
I voted aye.
All right, perfect. Okay, thank you. Peter, do we still have you? Abstain. Perfect. All right, perfect. Passes. We will make that swap. Excellent. Update alternative venues for future board meetings, something that we have discussed to death, but on the issue of time and getting through everything, and everybody's been so patient this evening. Let's skip that and come back to it another time. Up next, Colin. I believe we have something involving the formation of a permitted interaction group. Also, and this is government terminology for you, called a PIG. So Colin, please discuss your PIG with us.
Yeah, so it's Aloha McGuffey and I have been working together to try to develop a plan to increase the sustainability of our community, which involves reviewing the primary urban care or the primary urban center plan, as well as the East Honolulu plan, and help create guidance from our district to suggest to improve these plans to help sustainability and community within this. And with that, we have requested to form a PIG. And so I think most of you have gotten our resolutions for reviewing this. We approved that resolution, so now we're into the formation of the PIG. Aloha McGuffey, myself, as well as several other people. I'm not sure about the 100% of who we've engaged as being a part of this PIG, but at this point, I think it's was it myself, Aloha, you, Christian, and I think maybe John as well. And so, since there's that many of us, we have to create a PIG. And so that's my motion to create this PIG.
Do I have a second on the PIG?
I'll second it. I think it's a great idea. Wonderful idea.
Excellent. All in favor of the PIG?
Aye.
Aye, Peter's back. All right. All opposed to the PIG? Abstain? The PIG has it. Lovely.
Yeah, congratulations, Colin. That's great.
It's a beautiful PIG. Okay, go ahead. Let us know next steps with that and how we can all get involved. Forward to seeing where this goes. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
And then establishing members and how to draw members. We just had to make sure we are allowed to even discuss that at this point, because we have to. Where there's more than the two of us discussing a board business, we have to have a PIG to even discuss about what we can do next. So,
God, you just love bureaucracy, don't you? Well, excellent. Well, we look forward to the committee to discuss the discussion. So, phenomenal. Up next, new business presentations. Waiʻalae Avenue. There's been a request for repaving beneath the Kāhala Viaduct. Casey Abe, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here, still here.
Awesome. Casey, I have a gentleman here who has requested that a bus pad installation be proposed and potentially installed on Waiʻalae, is it? Right next to the Ocean View Cemetery? Mm-hmm. Oh, could you speak into the...
Preferably to those, is this mic working?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Preferably to the 4 bus stops that are along Waiʻalae Avenue under the viaduct. So that would be eastbound at the corner of Waiʻalae and Hunakai and Waiʻalae and Kilauea, and then westbound at the corner of Waiʻalae and Kilauea and Waiʻalae and Hunakai.
Awesome. And why are you requesting that, Dallin?
Because I think we all drive over there and the road is terrible in general, but it is extra terrible around those bus stops. I flew back right around the heavy rains in December, and I think right in front of Kāhala Mall, there was a huge pothole there, and I can't imagine the buses were making them any better.
Very nice. Luckily, we have a civil servant here who is the prime enemy to ugly and bad roads. So, Casey, what sort of process would we look at for that?
Yes, I will look into that, but yes, the gentleman is correct that normally bus stops are they do install concrete pads because of the weight of the bus. It does create potholes on our asphalt pavement. So we'd have to work with our I guess our traffic branch and our pavement program to see how we can schedule installing these concrete bus pads.
Awesome.
I'll get back.
Alan, do you have any other questions for Casey?
No, that's all good.
Perfect. All right.
Well, that and I guess the bus stop at the corner of it's on the other side of Kāhala Mall where they lay over at Hunakai and Waiʻalae, so that's on Hunakai. That's where they lay over, and they've recently started running a lot more bus routes through there that lay over there, and the road has been significantly degraded ever since they did that. So it's
During
out.
my field inspection on Tuesday, I saw that
Okay.
major pothole. Yeah, I just gotta check where the right of way is because it may be outside of the state highways. It may be within the city, but I would have to double check.
If you go slightly outside of your jurisdiction, we will not hold it against you, I promise. Casey, let's keep you right there real quick. Alan, up next, the viaduct seismic retrofit bird mitigation issues were raised, I believe, by you as well.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Well, when I first learned to drive, the first thing my dad told me is if I stop underneath those pillars and a bird poops on the roof, I am responsible for wiping it off. And I do not want to ever do that ever. So I don't know if that's ever happened to any of y'all, but
Not me.
I don't think it's something anybody wants to go through.
So your concern is the bird poops.
There are a large colony of street birds that live up there.
Yeah. They just recently did installations at the university. That interchange sort of. They did bird netting installations, and I also noticed under the Kapilani exit they installed wood, I think, to stop the birds from netting over there recently. I just noticed it today.
Yes. This is where we're expressing your concerns to your state elected officials who represent the neighborhood board. Having them reach out to our deputy director for highways would help me significantly in prioritizing their requests because the state legislature does approve our budget for each year. Yes. So talking to Senator Chang, Representative Haslam, and Graniati is
Well, what luck. I
help.
think we have one of those here this evening. Let's see. Oh, he left. Of course he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, but I mean I'll bring it up through my channels from my position. And
We'll
but
bring it up.
again, elected
Thank you very
officials
much.
can help expedite the process.
Excellent. We'll make sure we bring it up with the representatives who we are in close contact with and try and provide whatever support you need. Thank you again, Casey, for telling us what you need to help you get your job done.
Sure.
Love it. Thank you. And Dallin, thank you for bringing these all up. Up next, do we have anybody from the Oahu Resilience Hub Learning Community, the HLC? Going once, going twice. Sold. Announcements. Our next regular meeting will be Thursday, March 19th. This place, this room, same time, 7 p.m. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell the people that want to get involved in their community, tell your local representatives who, may or may not forget to show up from time to time, but please come. We love having you. We love making a difference, and we love improving the community. So we will see you back here next month, March 19th. Other than that, I believe we are adjourned. Bill?
Just one quick update on Shangri-La.
Oh, yes.
If people are still interested in that, they had a permit that was passed by the permit committee. It was a lot less than what they requested. The daytime was pretty much the same as it was. In the evening, they're going to have a total, I think it's only 7 events going on in the evening, and only 2 of them can be up to 200 people. So very different than what they initially proposed. What they actually put in was actually significantly less than what they initially proposed, but that was what was permitted.
Yeah. And I believe actually this DPP ended up coming in and restricting use of the lower lawn, so they can't use that anymore for events. So they actually lost some, and then on top of that, they oh my goodness, they're not allowed to have music anymore. So interesting.
That's great.
Interesting choice. I know, right? So interesting choice by the DPP. If you know anybody at the DPP, talk with them. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up before we adjourn? Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to have you. As always, thank you so much for coming. We are adjourned for the evening.